Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys your Divine Masculine weekly forecast reading. So I do tend to channel for those that are experiencing either a separation or challenge in your connection, so just keep that in mind. But obviously just take what resonates for you and get rid of anything that doesn't. I do say he or him for masculine and she or her for feminine. It's just the way that I channel, so obviously just apply the energies how it fits your situation. All the decks I'll be using here today will be listed down below, as well as this beautiful organite called the Earth Sign Divine Masculine Nude, created by Michelle from Wing & Bell. And just a couple of things I wanted to mention before we got started is that you guys are currently noticed there on my website that I don't have a book a reading tab anymore. I'm just currently taking a break, temporarily on readings. I will be back. So when I do, I will make that announcement. But I just needed to take a break because I have some just current workload that I have to catch up on. Plus I have some new projects in the works and I just needed to make some time for that. Also, you guys will notice that I'm completely off of Etsy, so you'll no longer see just Mystic Moon at all on on Etsy. So everything can be found on mysticmoonoracles.com, which is my website. You guys can order decks through the site, which will take you straight to the printer shop, which is where I get my decks printed. So you guys can get them directly from them. And that's just pretty much wanted to let you guys know that. So if anybody's, trying to DM you, asking you to get a reading or anything else like that, I'll never reach out to you guys or anything. You would have to come to my website to just do anything, buy a deck, book a reading, when I have them, etc. So just don't get scammed, you guys, especially on, the social media sites like Instagram and TikTok's definitely not me. So anyways, let's go ahead and get into this week's energy. So I'm going to do this from the Divine Feminine's perspective, since those are the majority of my viewers. So let's go ahead and see, what does your story look like this week with your Divine Masculine? We're going to get into the What's Going Down in Melody Town by Witchy Sabrina. All right, what is the energy this week with what the story looks like? What does the story look like this week? Let's look. Okay, way back into love. Okay, we've got this little sign here that says Lost, Found, Searching. Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant. Ooh, okay, let's go ahead and read this. I've been living with the shadow. Overhead, I've been sleeping with the cloud above my bed. I've been lonely for so long, trapped in the past. I just can't seem to move on. I've been hiding all my hopes and dreams away, just in case I ever need them again someday. I've been setting aside time to clear a little space in the corners of my mind. All I want to do is find a way back into love. I can't make it through without a way back into love. Interesting. So to me, this is very reflective. It's someone being somewhat nostalgic. So if you guys are experiencing any kind of a separation or challenge, which is what the reading's, really based on, it could be that someone right now is kind of living with a memory. It does say shadow here, so maybe there's like a little bit of a gloomy cloud over someone, and they really want to feel this love again. So there could be just this nostalgia, this missing, someone trying to find their way, feeling lost, searching for meaning, etc. So let's just go ahead and get an oracle card on what this might be about. So these are the tea leaf reading cards. So you guys can see I've got a little circular theme going on here. I wanted to use my circle decks together. Okay, so what is this energy here? What is this energy? I feel like they were in a movie together, right? And maybe it is from this movie, Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant. Was it called Lyrics? Something like that, maybe. I don't know. Okay, let's see what is the oracle energy here for the theme this week. Ooh, needle and thread. A sincere wish will be granted. Wow, okay. So some of you guys could be really thinking about each other this week. And if your wish has something to do with seeing someone, hearing from someone, your wish may be granted this week. So yeah, really wishing, like wishing upon a star. Okay, so this is a new deck that I just got, and it's circular, as you guys can see, which prompted me to use all these other circle decks. But this is like the tarot, like the original Rider-Waite tarot. So let's go ahead and see what is the tarot card for the theme this week. Ooh, here we go. Oh, wow. 4 cups. Okay. So look at just look at the card, right? We've got this cloud, and the cloud, anything that's coming from the sky, the symbolism of that is divine. It's a divine offering. It's an offer from the divine saying, hey, look at this. But you can see here the guy, he's got his arms closed, so he seems like he's closed off, right? He's even closed off to the 3 cups that are in front of him. He kind of looks like his eyes are even closed, like he's not seeing something. So some of you guys, I feel, are praying this week that perhaps your masculine will see something, that he will get well if there is something going on in his life, or that he will find his way back to you. Some of you might be dealing with a masculine that seems very lost right now. Of course, we're going to get a bunch of information about where he's at, but that could be a theme this week where you're really wishing and hoping and praying that he will wake up, that he will see something, that he will find his way back to you, is kind of how I'm seeing this. Now, this can be the other way around as well. Maybe there is some kind of a feeling here where the masculine is dissatisfied with his life. He's not happy. He just feels very, and maybe he is wishing for the feminine to appear, right? To appear. But, his eyes are closed, so it's feeling a little lost and confused. Very interesting. So let's go ahead and get some more information on what does the story look like this week for you guys. Let's get another card. I'll Never Not Love You. Ooh, by Michael Bublé. I think that's how you say his name. Maybe. Maybe not. It says, I know there's a part of you that's terrified to love again, but I promise to the end, I'll never run, leave you behind. I'll never hurt you like he hurt you. I'll never make you cry. I'll treat you right. I'll stand by you. And no matter whatever happens, I'll never not love you. That's beautiful. So there can be some specific scenarios in your connection. Obviously, just take what resonates for you. But I just feel like the overall message here is that there's always this feeling, I'm never not going to love you. I'm always going to love you. I'm always going to be there. Even if you can't see it, even if you're not feeling it right now, I'm still holding space for you and loving you, even if it's from afar. I'll never not love you. So there's this feeling here. There's this energy here this week, right? That maybe somebody will recognize something. Somebody will wake up. Somebody will just see something. So let's go ahead and get an oracle with that. Okay, so we have Fox, shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. So the fox is one of those spirit animals where we're kind of, I don't want to use the word sneaky, but strategic, right? We're strategic. We're resourceful. We know how to get what we want. It's not in a manipulative way, but it just means like I know how to utilize my resources in order to experience success. So that's why it says being resourceful in business. It's like we know how to make certain moves, pretty much is what the fox is. We kind of fly under the radar as well. So there could be some kind of an energy here where it's very subtle. It's not in your face. So some of you feminines right now, especially if you're not talking to your masculine, could be sending him this energy. You're sending it to him energetically. You're sending him some sort of love. You're sending him some sort of a message in some other kind of like realm. That's what I'm getting here for you. And, you may not be sending this message through an actual text or an email or a phone call, but you're just kind of like sending that loving vibration out to the masculine. Wow, that's really beautiful. Let's see what else. We have the King of Pentacles. So King of Pentacles is Taurus energy. Since it does say business here, it might be that this masculine, because this is the king, so this is the masculine archetype. The masculine may be very much tied up in business, may be very much tied up in his career right now, or kind of taking care of his responsibilities. And this could be a message for the feminine this week, that even though maybe you guys are not together or not speaking, that this masculine is saying, I still love you. I'll never not love you. Even though I might be over here, maybe taking care of some sort of business or just really focused on my career or some other responsibility, I will never not love you. So that's interesting, right? A lot of exchange of energy this week is what I'm seeing here. All right, let's go ahead and get another. We have better man, little big town. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I can feel you again, but I just miss you. And I just wish you were a better man. And I know why we had to say goodbye like the back of my hand. And I just miss you. And I just wish you were a better man. Wow. So feminines, some of you can be, really wishing and hoping and praying that your masculine can be a better man, that he can make different choices, that he can take responsibility in his life or do things differently. So there could be third-party energy here if they're in another relationship. Maybe they're just in that relationship, just kind of going through the motions, and you're really hoping and praying that he'll find the strength to pull out of codependent toxic cycle if that's the case. This could just be, you're wanting your masculine to really mature and grow up, maybe see the error of his ways, really take some personal accountability in the situation. So I'm seeing that a lot of this energy is taking place. Let's see what else. We have the ant, work, achievement, success. So yeah, ants are hard workers, right? It takes hard work. It takes dedication. So I feel like there's some kind of, it's not an impossible situation at all, but it does kind of feel that way, I feel, for the feminine. The feminine feels like, gosh, this seems like an impossible situation that we're up against. It's an impossible situation that this is something that we can I want to work at this with you, but, are you willing to put in the work? Are you willing to do this? Can you be a better man next time? So if you guys are on a break or, you're just kind of just trying to figure out how you're going to come back together again, these are all the thoughts this week about this. I want you to be a better man. Are you a better man now? Can this work now? Can we do this together? Because ants work together in colonies. So to me, that's teamwork. And then the ants, of course, protect the queen, right? The queen ant. So this king doesn't have a queen right now. Maybe he's not recognizing, the fact that a queen by his side would complete him. I mean, that could be something that's missing right now. Now, we do have the 9 of Swords. So somebody could be up late at night. And what's interesting is that, I'm going to read this again. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I can feel you again, but I just miss you. Feminines, you could really be missing your masculine. I'm also getting too that this masculine could be up at night, stressed because of whatever situation he might be in or whatever he's struggling with, just on his own, singular, just, being single. Wishes he could be a better man. Maybe he is struggling with his shadow right now. What is causing him to not be able to be that masculine that you need him to be? So there's a lot of reflection, a lot of deep thoughts this week, a lot of just, heaviness, I feel, right? Missing heaviness this week. So let's go ahead and get one more. George Michael, faith. Maybe you mean every word you say. Can't help but think of yesterday and another who tied me down to lover boy rules before this river becomes an ocean, before you throw my heart back on the floor. Oh, baby, I reconsider my foolish notion. Well, I need someone to hold me, but I'll wait for something more. Interesting. So the song, the lyrics could really talk about someone who's kind of like a player or a lover boy, right? Doesn't want to be tied down. Somebody that can sometimes feel like maybe there's something more waiting for them, but that's foolish. It's a foolish notion. Sometimes we do have to go off in search of something that we feel is going to maybe complete us or make us happier. And sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. And I feel like someone might be losing faith that someone is going to be able to change, or somebody that's going to be able to, go from this player, lover, boy status or whatever situation they might be tied up in to being available, to being able to be faithful to you, Divine Feminine. So let's go ahead and get another Oracle card. We have guaranteed success, star. So I love the star because the star to me, it's kind of like in tarot, this is like divine intervention. This is following the signs. This is having faith, of course. So I think it's very cool that this is coming through with faith, right? It's also healing and hope. So I feel like not all is lost here, you guys. So if some of you guys have been feeling like your masculine is, always going to be this person that is going to be lost, or that's never going to make the right decision, that's always going to, hurt you, etc. You definitely want to hold healthy boundaries and learn from things, and you don't want to let people keep doing the same thing over and over again. So we all have a job to do to take care of ourselves. But I just feel that what's going on is that two people are probably struggling on their own in separation. And there's just a lot of inner turmoil that's just taking place that's causing people to feel a little lost right now. Lost and confused, like that first card, 4 of Cups. Rejecting something, rejecting the light of the situation and instead falling into the darkness. That's what I'm kind of getting here. So somebody could be going through a dark night of the soul, but I feel like it is necessary. And the card that just fell in my lap was the Ace of Cups. That's beautiful to me. So this is, again, is another offering from the divine. It's the Ace of Cups. When our own cup overflows, everything else works. So to me, this is self-love. This is, if the masculine is lost and confused right now, the answer lies within himself. It's not going to lie within something outside of him. So he's going to have to learn how to either love himself, forgive himself, invest more in the self, do the things that make him feel fulfilled instead of living his life for other people. Okay? So until that lesson has been learned and until the cup is overflowing, I feel like I'm seeing an M. Archangel Michael, okay, is coming through this reading right now. And it's funny because I normally don't use this angel, but I felt guided to use the angel today. I feel like Archangel Michael is within your connection this week, you guys. Really helping people, especially the masculine, though. I mean, yes, the feminine, you might be losing faith, you might be feeling lost, you might be feeling very sad, can't sleep, etc. But I feel like this masculine needs a lot of strength and courage to be a better man or masculine, to do things better than he's doing, try harder. That's the ants energy, work harder, and really work on what he needs to heal. Because this first card really depicts to me somebody that knows there's something going on here, but is refusing to take the cup, refusing to take the offer, refusing to do the work right now. But I do feel like Spirit's really working with the masculine this week to try to get him to open up his eyes, to get him to have hope and faith that not all is lost. And so perhaps these changes that the masculine could make, starting this week, feminine, you might actually see something change in a positive way. Maybe this restores some sort of faith and hope in you for your connection. And maybe that's why in the meantime, what you're doing is instead of pushing or instead of trying to figure out how we can work on this right now, maybe that's why you're just energetically sending good vibes. You're energetically sending this masculine love because maybe that he needs that extra, support this week. And that's why Archangel Michael is showing up too. So it's just like, if we can't be with people, we can't talk to people right now, we can at least send good vibes their way. And I feel like that's what you're probably doing this week, feminine. So, but if this is you, this could be Archangel Michael really working with you to help to soothe your pain, to soothe your anxiety, and really kind of help you to shine light on something that is still hopeful. And what's always hopeful, is that there is still things in the world that are good. Even if we're not getting what we want, there is still hope. There is still happiness. There are still things that we can do to provide happiness and to live a happy life. It's just like we've got to be willing to open up our eyes though to it. So these particular images are very telling to me this week. The divine is trying to get our attention, masculine and feminine, and saying not all is lost. Try not to spend too much time in that energy. Try to have a little bit more faith that everything is going to work out exactly as it's supposed to. Oh, it's so beautiful. All right, you guys. So let's now look and see what is the challenge. I mean, we kind of already saw some challenge pop through, but let's go ahead and take it a step further and really look at what that shadow is and what challenge is this week. So this is the Soul Activation Oracle deck, Shadows Edition by Rising Sun Oracle. All right, so what's the masculine shadow this week? What's the real struggle? What's that Four of Cups about? Okay, so we have superficial. So it says third eye chakra, and the third eye chakra is that inner knowingness. It's trusting our higher self, being in connection with our higher self. But I feel that whatever is causing the masculine, right? You know, sometimes this King of Pentacles can be someone who's too in the 3D. They're too focused on the material. They're too focused on the ego, on the outside, building an empire. That can be very surface level and superficial, focusing on superficial things. So that's where the masculine could be lost this week, is there's some kind of money issues or money or status that he's focusing on instead of focusing on what would truly make him happy or at peace. Okay, so this deck right here is called Star Witch by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot. Let's see what else is going on for the masculine this week. We have summon. It says evoking, reaching out. Oh, interesting. And she's holding a phone. Wow. Okay. So I feel like there are superficial things that are actually holding the masculine back. Like I said, material. So material world to me is kind of like the devil's energy, Capricorn. Very much things that we feel tied to, dependent on. So sometimes we can become dependent on money, survival, maybe even staying in situations or a job that we can't stand, but we have to, survive. So it's that kind of message, it's that kind of energy. It's very superficial, very surface level stuff. So I feel like that right now might be what has a hold on the masculine. It's not saying that he's under some sort of a spell or control. It just means that might be causing him, or I should say preventing him from reaching out to the feminine. And if he is reaching out to the feminine, it's like feminine, what I'm getting here is that you might still feel dissatisfied because maybe it's still not exactly what you're looking for. It's like you know that it's just still not where you want the connection to be. He might still have dealings in another situation, so that's not ideal to you. It might be that you just kind of sense or know that, you know what, something's still off. There's still some kind of shadow that needs to be cleared here. And I'm getting here, you're right. I feel like there is something that still needs to be cleared. There's still something that maybe he's not seeing. There's still something he's not quite doing here. All right, so this is called the Tarot of Dreams. Yeah, we have the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords is clearing energy. Feel like this might be some kind of future thing. So maybe not exactly this week will the masculine be making any huge strides, but I do feel like it is on its way. This clearing out, this going from choppy waters to calmer waters. It might be when the storm is over. That could be when this masculine reaches out in more of an authentic way instead of a superficial way. So I feel like there's a message this week for the feminine. If you guys are feeling very destroyed or distraught that this masculine is not reaching out to you, I feel like you need to have faith that maybe the universe is almost orchestrating this non-communication right now, because it could be better. It's kind of like sometimes, when you sleep on it, you make a better decision in the morning. Sometimes separations or no communication are good, right? So I feel like this right here can be very telling. Yes, we can do that to ourselves. Like we can turn this into a nightmare. Okay, we can, or we can choose to have faith. We can choose to believe that everything is happening right now for a reason, and we can choose this instead. Okay, we can choose that instead. We can choose ourselves instead. So I feel like that's almost a message for the feminine as well, for some of you that are suffering right now with silence or suffering from this masculine, reaching out, or like in a superficial way, or not reaching out at all. I feel like he's still in choppy waters. I feel like there's still something that's going on in his life that needs to be cleared. So it's almost like better timing is more ideal anyways. So that's that shadow. But sometimes the masculine shadow can become the feminine shadow, because you guys, you're picking up on the energy. You're very sensitive to what's happening here. All right, let's see what else is the blockage. What else is the challenge this week? Okay, so interesting. We have inauthentic and superficial. So communication would be inauthentic, you guys. I feel like that's really, really powerful. I feel like it's a really, really powerful message. So this is not going to resonate for everybody, but some feminines out there might feel the need to summon this communication. And I'm really getting, instead of putting your time and energy into trying to make something happen, because we already know that the feminine is sending energy to the masculine. But how I picked up on it is that it was very loving and very unconditional, like there's no strings attached, just sending love. But because we're speaking of shadow right now, even though this is about the masculine, sometimes it can mirror to the feminine. So only if you're struggling with this right now, feminine, is this message for you. But instead of hoping or praying, right, that someone will do something, instead just try to have faith that if it doesn't happen, it's probably for the best, because we are seeing some inauthentic communication, throat chakra, in the masculine's field. It might be that whatever he says right now, it might be that he's not going to be able to really mean it, or there's just too much crud. There's just too much crap going on right now for him to be able to be 100% honest or authentic. So maybe that communication wouldn't be the greatest anyways. Now, this is also telling us too that whatever lies, we can see that Pinocchio, that nose starting to grow on the other side there, whatever lies that the masculine has told the feminine, it doesn't make it okay. We're not explaining it away, but it could be that maybe he just is stuck, or feels like he just can't be honest with her about something. So he might be distancing himself. This might be a technique that he's using, so either he doesn't have to lie, or he doesn't have to face the truth. So there could be just, I'm running away, which the Six of Swords can be as well. We have flock of birds, gossip and chit chat. Interesting. I feel if some of you guys are dealing with a dramatic situation, as in there's other people, like a third party, another person, or just a group of people, like a group of friends, the workplace, a family, that's against you sort of thing, or against the masculine. I feel like there's a lot of chitter chatter in the masculine's ear. Now, this doesn't mean that he's being made to do anything. Unless you believe someone has power over you, they don't. But if this masculine has given his power willingly over to a person that he is around right now, which could be like a bad influence, just somebody who really doesn't mean them well, somebody who's trying to sabotage them, they can fall under that influence, right? So I feel like there is something here that maybe this masculine has repeated to the feminine, but it's almost like it's coming from someone else. It's not even their words. It's like they're just kind of repeating something. So I am getting this scenario. Please only take this if this is your story, of some of you that were speaking to your masculine, and he's either with someone or lives with someone, or there's someone around him, and things were going really well in your communication, and then all of the sudden they either started talking to someone from the past, or they got back together, patched things up, or that person found out about your communication, and they were instructed, you need to say this or else. So there's kind of like this situation here where someone was not completely authentic with their communication. And feminines, you might be holding on to that. You might be raking yourself over the coals. You might be literally now having nightmares about what this masculine said. How could he have said that? And again, we're not making excuses for people, but sometimes if you're in a pickle and you're going to lose your children, you're going to lose your family, you're going to lose everything because you've got someone in your life that you've screwed over or lied to, sometimes in a shitstorm like that, you make certain decisions to save, and it does feel like you are being discarded and you're being thrown away, but sometimes that's just what people do to survive. Doesn't make it okay, but I'm just saying that there's some kind of energy here that's describing someone's situation. Yeah, we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is an abandonment. The Eight of Cups is someone who's walking away. Do you feel like some of you guys were tossed over? You were tossed overboard, okay? Maybe some of you were talking to this masculine about a plan to be together, and somehow something shifted suddenly and you were tossed over or overboard. Now, that might not be the case for everybody. I just feel like instead of facing you or instead of being honest with you, it's just easier for this masculine to either stay away or walk away from you. You might not have all the facts. You might not have all the stories. And we certainly aren't going to just sit around and wait to get that clarity. We do have to, carry on and move on with our lives too. But some of you might feel really strained and stressed because you don't know why your masculine walked away, or you don't know why he's not walking away from a situation. And I feel like there's a lot of strain around him because of some group or other people. Other people are more important than either he told you or he cares too much about what other people are going to think, and he can't be authentic and do what he wants to do. So it's just perhaps easier to just stay separated or walk away. And that just creates a lot of abandonment wounds, I feel, for the feminine. Interesting stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and get another. Now, this is not to suggest that anybody has become, physical or anything like that, but that can be through words, right? That can be through words. But some of you, there could be a situation where this masculine is in that with a partner, or someone is throwing things and just being like really rageful. So that might have an effect. It could also be like you snap, it's too much, and someone snaps at you and it's misdirected. It's misdirected. It's not even about you, but somehow you're getting the brunt of that frustration. And we have manifestation. Okay, so I feel like this masculine is probably struggling with the fact that he can manifest something new. He doesn't have to either stay in this rageful, broken, dark night of the soul state or in a crappy situation. He can walk away. But I feel like this week it's coming through the shadow that he's having a difficult time taking back his power, sitting in that power position. I do see that he is the King of Pentacles this week, but the King of Pentacles is more or less a provider. The King of Pentacles does really well at work, or they're good with their finances, or they look good on the outside. It's not the King of Wands to me. The King of Wands would be very powerful. The King of Wands would be able to make changes. They would have the courage to stand up and say, you know what? No, I'm not going to be unhappy, or I'm not going to live inauthentically anymore. So the King of Pentacles is just someone who, they might say certain things, but they don't follow it up with actions. So I feel like it's a great struggle this week with the masculine deep down inside. He's really struggling with the shadow. He's just really feeling almost like rageful or upset himself because he feels like he can't do the things that he wants to do. But see, the thing is, you guys, he can. He just believes for whatever reason that he can't have what he wants, or that he won't be happy, or he can't let something in that's good. There's a real struggle with the shadow self this week is what I'm seeing here. And we have the King of Swords. So the thing is, with the King of Pentacles and the King of Swords, they're the most detached for me. The King of Wands and the King of Cups are going to be your feelers. They're going to feel things. They're going to be inspired. They're going to make moves. The King of Swords and the King of Pentacles looks at situations very rationally and practically. They're very down to earth with their decisions. So it's kind of like, this is just what I got to do. Very cold, very, cut off from their feelings. They're looking at things very, matter of fact. And so some of you guys may have dealt with this masculine and he's acting very matter of factly with you, very just short and just cutthroat, maybe even the no communication. It feels brutal this week. And I just feel like he's really battling his own demons and feels like he has to have this armor. You can see here this king, he's got a lot of armor. So this is a protection. I'm in protection mode this week. I can't let anyone in. I can't be what you need me to be. The song here is coming to me again, which is, I can't be the man that you need me to be, right? So find your way back to me. I know you're lost, masculine. I know you're having a hard time seeing something. I know you're having a hard time perhaps even, walking away. But I know you can do it. So feminines, I feel like you might be a cheerleader for your masculine this week, just holding space. Again, you're not disempowering yourself and putting your life on hold or anything like that. But I feel like instead of being in the energy of the Nine of Swords, okay, taking on maybe some of your masculine's pain or some of his issues, I feel like, there's still room for you to thrive. There's still room for you to grow. There's still room for you to feel excitement and happiness this week. Spirit is certainly telling you here that the stars are lining up for you, that whatever's meant for you will be. So try to have more faith. And I feel like that's why that song Faith is coming through. Try to have a little bit more faith this week that you are being protected, especially if there are unsatisfactory things going on. Maybe the rejection is for your divine protection this week, and we're just kind of trusting this process is what I'm seeing here. So that's really nice. Okay, so now we're going to go into what is the lesson this week. Okay, obviously there are many lessons, but let's go ahead and see what we need to know. So what is the lesson this week? What's the lesson this week? This right here is called the Golden Divine Ascension deck by Jennifer Aquarius Tarot. What is the lesson this week for this connection? It's okay to outgrow people who don't grow tall anyways. So I feel, feminine, that this is kind of a dual message. This is one for you, but it's also about the masculine. I feel like the masculine has actually outgrown a person if he is with someone right now, or a group of friends, or just a certain way of being. Because we have lover boy. Remember that message that came through here, the faith, that lover boy that doesn't want to be tied down. It's a very, it's young. It's, I want to keep my options open. I don't want to commit. It's just kind of a very immature type of energy, especially, when you're maybe a little bit older, just depending on somebody's age here. But it's like outgrowing ideas, outgrowing people that, are just dragging you down. It's kind of like, who you hang, you are who you hang with kind of thing, or the people that you surround yourself with, if they're just, really down in the dumps or pessimistic or aren't going places, you're naturally going to get tied down with that energy as well. So this could be this masculine he's outgrown a situation, or he's outgrown this old version of himself. But I also feel, feminine, for you, some of you might feel like, you want to grow. You want a connection that's ready. You don't want to put your life on hold any longer if you have been. You don't want to, maybe some of you are saying, gosh, I'm only getting older. I can't continue to do this. And the thing that I say when you're starting to feel that way about this journey, that's a sign that you are putting your life on hold, that it is time for you to fly. And that doesn't mean that we're saying the hell with this journey, the hell with this person, screw you, anything like that. No, what we're doing is, we're wishing someone all the best, but we're choosing ourselves. And there's nothing selfish about that at all. We ultimately do need to, if people don't want to grow with us, we have to grow tall anyways. And sometimes just that move, sometimes just that little tweak in the energy field can make a difference, right? We can show the way for other people. We can inspire other people to want to grow in new ways. So sometimes it might be that is what the feminine is meant to do in order to show the way for the masculine. I mean, you never know. So But yeah, I feel like there's a couple of different messages there. So just, just take what feels right. Okay, so this right here is the Romance Angels. What is the lesson this week? Okay, we have calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. That's really beautiful. And I feel like this is exactly what is coming through here. Okay? You're calling in. You're sending energy to your person, which is your masculine feminine, right? And so spirit, we can see through the star, okay? Also that wish being granted, that sincere wish that you have, that success. It says all these things are helping to bring you together with what is meant for you. This soul love, this soul connection. Now, that doesn't, immediately set in stone that this has to work, right? We do have the free will factor. But to me, this is basically stating to ourselves that what we want, we will come into alignment with. And if that's you too, then that's absolutely how this is going to work out. So it's about having faith. I love it. Have faith this week. That is the lesson this week. And I feel that when this masculine clears his shadow, becomes more authentic, he is going to open up his eyes and see that cup from the feminine. That's what I'm seeing here. He's going to heed the call. And yeah, now we have the Ace of Wands. That could be communication. This could be the start of something new, fresh start, right? We go after our careers. We go after our ideas. We do the things that we want to do. We allow this connection to inspire us and help us to grow into who we want to become. We don't stay in this energy here, right? Because that energy, even though, yes, we do have to face our shadow, you guys. We do have to feel certain things for sure. But if you've been stuck in this energy, or if your masculine's been stuck in this energy for a long time and just isn't really changing anything, isn't really choosing something different, this might be a mirror to us that it's now our time to, outgrow this suffering. And really stand tall and put that crown on ourselves and say, you know what? I'm going to take back my power and I'm going to call in the things that I deserve. I'm going to call in the things that I want to call in. And that right there, when we do stand tall like that, and we stand in our power, amazing things start to happen. So either this masculine is going to level up because you're leveling up, or maybe there's a different plan. Who knows? All I know is that what is meant for you can be yours, absolutely. So prayers, it says, allow your prayers. So, talk to your higher power, communicate with your higher power, whatever those affirmations that you have, those affirmations that cause you to feel empowered, definitely, implement those into your daily life. Visualization, what you want, focus on the things that you want instead of things that you fear. All of those things will help to clear this energy, drawing two people together. So we can't make it happen, but our energy can certainly shift and change in a more powerful way, which will definitely create more success than we've been experiencing, for maybe a bit. So that's just kind of some positive, empowering advice for some of you that could be struggling at this particular time. All right, let's get another set. Okay, we have the best thing you can do is master the chaos in you. You are not thrown into the fire. You are the fire. I love this because remember, guys, wands are fire energy. So the thing is, this is saying here, master the chaos. I do say this quite often. Learn to dance with the energy of this connection. Don't let it keep you up at night. Don't let it kill you. Don't allow it to burn you out and to deplete you. Don't give everything to it. Learn to use the energy. Learn to implement it, implement into your life. Allow it to inspire you to, do certain things that you want to do. Get out there, get healthier, tackle things that you've been afraid to do. Maybe you have this creative idea that's swimming around. Now, maybe some kind of this connection somehow inspires you to want to try your hand at a new craft or to learn something. So that's what the advice here is. That's the lesson this week, is to let this connection work in your life. Master the chaos. Don't allow yourselves to be burned by the fire. You are that fire. It's alive. A lot of times we try to kill off energy only to find that it's still there. Maybe we're meant to work with this energy. It's kind of like the shadow. Whenever we try to condemn the shadow, whenever we try to hide from our shadow, whenever we try to just only focus on positives, the shadow has a way of coming in because it is a part of us. We don't need to be ashamed of it. We don't need to run away from it, right? We need to be able to look at it. We need to be able to become stronger by facing certain things, accepting certain things, accepting that none of us are perfect. All of us have light and dark. So that's this connection I feel for some of you watching the video, is that you are learning ways to be able to no longer burn yourself by this connection. You're learning to emerge like the phoenix rising through the fire, through the ashes, become reborn, right? Take on life in a whole new way. Make this connection work for you instead of work against you, right? Don't let it disempower you anymore. Take that crown, straighten your crown, and just empower yourself if you can from this. So that's the lesson this week. Empowerment. And we have, it is okay. Yes, it's okay for you guys to disconnect. It's okay for you guys to retreat. It's okay for your masculine to retreat from you, or it's okay for you to retreat from your masculine. It is okay. It's okay to take a time out. Sometimes that's when some of the greatest ideas, the greatest healing, the greatest just epiphanies come, when we are on our own, when we are just focusing on ourselves or just in our own presence. Sometimes when we're with someone all the time, we can't really think. Spirit may not be able to reveal things to us because we're not listening. We're not balanced. We're not, centered. So if you guys are separated right now and you're in a lot of pain, you can start to look at this as actually the perfect thing right now. That's what I'm seeing here. And we have the Prince of Staves. So the Prince of Staves, this is, I believe, the Knight of Wands in this deck. Yeah, the Knight of Wands is a person that is still learning. They're still expanding. They're still trying to figure out who they are, find themselves, right? They're a little bit of an unpredictable energy, the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands really needs to develop into the King of Wands, right? So I just feel like there's just definitely this masculine, fiery presence. And that's good because we haven't seen that yet. We saw the pentacles, material world, right? Possessions. We saw the swords, which were all about armor and seeing things just very matter-of-factly, not wearing our heart on our sleeves. Now we're seeing this fiery energy develop. So I feel like what Spirit is trying to tell you feminines is that this retreat can actually be the best thing for the connection. This can actually be where there's going to be a lot of growth for this masculine. So it can be a positive. It will be a positive for you and a positive for him. So allow this time. I feel like it will do wonders. Learn to master the chaos. There's like this lesson here for the feminine to master this chaos. Don't allow this connection to create chaos and pain for you. And if it does, learn to master it. Learn it. Learn to understand that language. Learn to understand the things that plague you right now or that keep you up at night. Learn to master this energy. So that's what I have for you guys so far. So what we're going to do, because I'm like looking at the time, we're already going into almost an hour here. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to take this over to the extended. And if you guys would like to know, if you want a little bit more on this reading, we're going to go into what is the masculine thinking when it comes to the feminine this week? What is he feeling when it comes to the feminine this week? What is he fantasizing about the feminine this week? What does he want the feminine to know with words? What does the future hold this week? And what does Spirit want you to do this week, feminine? So if you guys are interested in those extra bonus messages, I will put the link for the extended reading down below. And thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it. And maybe I'll see some of you guys over there. And if not, thank you so much for showing up to this reading. All right, you guys, I appreciate you. Thank you. Bye-bye.